Hi everyone, it's me Holly, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be filming some advice for anyone starting year 12 or starting year 13. By the way, my fan is on over here. If you're giving advice to anyone starting year 12 or year 13, you might find it easier to look in the description to find timestamps of any advice that you would need, because there might be something specific you're looking for. You can definitely find it down there, so yeah, go have a look. Or you can just continue watching the video, listen to all the advice, because it will be helpful. So my name is Holly and I studied psychology, health and social level 3 Btec and child development level 3 Btec, and I just finished year 13. I actually finished it 2 months ago. I did my last exam on the 3rd of June 2024. So yeah, it's been ages, and that probably sounds incredible. I had such a long summer. I've got such a long summer because unis don't start until later on. So that is something to look forward to. But yeah, we're going to get onto the year 12 stuff first. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is workload. A common question is, oh my goodness, will I be able to keep up with the work? Is it going to be a huge jump from year 11 to year 12? And it's difficult to say for certain. Obviously, the content is more advanced than what you might have been doing before, or you know, if you haven't done it before then you wouldn't know. But because I started psychology like without any, like I hadn't done it for GCSE or anything. I just did it purely because I think I would have liked it. I was so correct, by the way, because that's kind of defined what I want to do in the future. So I don't even know why I chose it. I just wanted to. But anyway, but yeah, I think it's obviously more advanced, but because you're doing less subjects or you're choosing ones that you actually want to do, I think it becomes a lot more easier to put motivation into it, which is obviously key for actually keeping on top of workload. Yes, you might have more things to do, but you might find it easier to do it, or you might have more things to do, but you enjoy doing it more. If you get what I mean. I also think something that helped me keep on top of workload and like the jump between is I instantly wanted to start straight away. Like when I was in year 12, in one of like the first few weeks of starting year 12, I asked one of my psychology teachers about, so I think in class there was a 16 marker, and obviously I'd not heard about that before. I'd never done psychology, but I said, could I try it and then give it to you and you can have a look. And I'm so thankful to myself for actually putting in so much work in year 12, because it made year 13 so much easier. Like, I think I sometimes forget what year 12 was like because it feels so long ago, even though it's like a year. But because I had done that and I'd actually tried to get exam technique or the content, I was trying to get it into my brain basically, that meant that I could find revising that a lot easier because I already kind of knew how to do it, and I didn't have to learn it at a later stage when it might have been harder to remember. So obviously from then, when I had done that in the first few weeks, I could only improve on what I'd done basically. And even though probably if I read that now, whatever I did for that 60 mark, I probably would throw up a little bit. Even though it might not have been good, at least I tried it. And I think you need to get over the fear of not doing well, or like not, I don't know, like at the time I don't think I thought about it, but I didn't think like about the fact that this teacher probably, they're obviously not going to judge my work, but like I feel like there's been many times when I thought, oh god, I can't ask for help because they're going to judge me for not knowing. I think you just got to try and eradicate that from your mind, because at this specific point you've just got to think about yourself and just think about like, okay, I don't know this, so I'm going to ask. Like, it doesn't really matter what the teacher thinks, because they're going to be thankful that you ask, and they're going to be thankful that you're actually trying. On that note, I don't think workload has to be a struggle. It may be more difficult, the work, but it could be managed if you make sure you try and do it early, if you get what I mean. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is timetable and like lessons and stuff. I am someone who loves a little bit of a routine, a little bit of a timetable. I love and I need. So that is why I'm including it in this video, so that you can have some sort of understanding. Obviously this is my personal sixth form, but obviously you probably know that you're going to get 3 periods, most likely. I'm talking on the like most average sixth form experience, you're going to get free periods, which is basically free time when most people, like most of the time, you can leave the school site, which are lovely, and you probably will get very excited over these. And I would say definitely take it for free time as well. Like, people always say, make sure you're revising in these free periods, but also they're free periods for a reason. You might start feeling like workload is getting too much, you know, or anything like that, so use that time to maybe try and do some extra questions, or you could just use it to relax, because I think, although yes, we need to be doing our work, I also feel like it's very important to make sure that ourselves are also okay. You don't have to constantly be doing things like, you can't constantly be revising, can't constantly be thinking about schoolwork. Like, you're gonna have times to like take a step back and actually just do something that you want to do. Like, why not scroll on TikTok? But there has to be a point where you know, like, you can't always be doing that, if you get what I mean. Like, you got to think like, okay, if I've got this many free periods, I'll do a couple pieces of homework in some of them, other ones I might spend time talking to my friends. Do you know what I mean? Like, make sure you're actually being sensible with it, whilst also making sure you're looking after yourself. Because people always say, right, you've got extra time now, because if you were at year 11, you would have had to, these free periods, they would have been lessons, so you should treat them like lessons. But at the end of the day, quite frankly, it says free period. I'm not trying to condone any bad behaviour, because to be honest, like, I try a lot. I try very hard at school. But I did use them to talk to my friends. Yeah, why not? Socialising is very important. So on timetables, I had directed study, which would kind of take away some of my free periods that my school would use for, like, you had to be doing schoolwork, like you had to be doing your own private work in a little computer room. So that meant I knew that when I went into those private studies, I had to do my work. But then when I went into my free periods, I could just chill. But yeah, if your school doesn't do that, obviously allocate when you want to do some like private study in your free periods. Also, I had something called core learning, which I don't know if that's very common, but it was like PSHE, whatever it's called. And then obviously I think I had each of my subjects like 4 times a week, 5 times, because I had a 2-week timetable. One week I'd have it 4 times, the other week I'd have it 5 times, whatever worked. But yeah, so that means I had 9 over the 2 weeks. You're pretty much having your subject every day, basically. Friendships is another thing I've wrote down, and I'm definitely not the expert on this, but as someone who was quite quiet in year 11, I very much struggled to socialise. That's a whole different thing, but I found going into sixth form the breath of fresh air, because I actually was making friends and I was actually talking to everyone. Like, I was actually having a good time socially. And obviously that's not the same experience for everyone, but I think just going straight in for it. I obviously kind of knew some of the people because I went to my school sixth form, but at the same time I had never really spoken to them. I knew like some people a little bit more than others, but my best friend now, Lily, I'd spoken to her a couple times obviously, but we didn't know each other that well. But instantly I was like, oh, we were just talking about it, and literally we both love Annie, the film, the 2014 or 2013 film. We found that out within the first week. I think just go straight in. What subjects do you do? Ask about the teacher. Just honestly, it sounds silly now, as obviously I know the people in my year and I know what subjects they do, but back in year 12, like, you have no idea. Like, you don't know what anyone's doing. So obviously it's not going to be a stupid question to ask. You want to know. And it means it opens up so many conversations. Another thing for year 12s is definitely start doing exam resources early. For example, flashcards and stuff like that. I wish I'd done my Quizlet flashcards back in year 12. Sorry. I spent a month, I think, of year 13, probably April, when my exams were in May. Do I want to say that? Might have been March. Let's just give myself the benefit of the doubt. I was stressed, right? Because I wanted to have all Quizlet flashcards for all my topics. And yes, it was a really good way for me to learn, but I wish I'd already done them, because I was literally scrambling away, like, quick, type this up. I spent like a whole day once trying to type them all up. To be fair, I did most of them, but I did take ages. like most of them for one topic, but it did take ages to actually get them done. I wish I'd done them in year 12. It would have been so much easier for me. So definitely, if you know that you like Quizlet flashcards, or you know that you like mind maps, go straight for it. Also, discover what your revision technique is, because I found in year 12 that I loved a mind map. I found them so great. I loved making them. Year 13, did I use them as much? No. But it helped me for my year 13 mocks and mock exams. Okay, I know they're stressful, I know they're scary, but I remember when I'm thinking about psychology, I remember the topics that I did my mocks on way better than ones that I didn't. There's 2 topics that I never did a mock on. I don't know them as much. Genuinely, if you have a mock, you will be able to practice revising it, and you'll actually know it more. You'll actually know it better. And it might feel like, ugh, why am I doing a mock when my exams are like next year? Get it done and get it ready. Like, any of the topics for psychology that I did in year 12, I had such a better knowledge on them. Obviously, that's like I'd done them for longer, but just because I could constantly be kind of like referring work that I'm doing in year 13 to the ones I was doing in year 12, because I knew them, because I'd revised enough. Anyway, that's enough for year 12s. You might find it interesting to listen to the year 13 stuff, but yes, on to the year 13 stuff. Hello, year 13s. I think a lot of people do say year 13 is going to be the worst year of your life, or the most stressful year of your life. It doesn't have to be. It does not have to be. I think, obviously, I can't even lie to you, it's stressful, because it will be. It's an exam year. Year 11 was stressful because it's an exam year. I think year 13 does peak because you are doing a lot of things and you're having so many life events at the same time. For example, you might be learning how to drive. You might be turning 18. A lot that you're doing in that year. So it does pile up a lot, and it does make it harder to kind of deal with. But at the same time, I think year 13 doesn't need to be as bad as like you see online. I know a lot of people say it's horrible, and everyone has individual experiences with it. But personally, I know it was hard, and I'm not gonna lie, I know it was hard, but I wouldn't say that I had a completely horrible experience. Like, I was having so much fun with my friends. There were so many funny moments from year 13. Like, it's not all like exam. Like, you're keeping on top of your workload, and any homework or any revision, anything like that. If you've kept on top of that to begin with. For example, I know that we had to do personal statements quite early on in the year, and I remember, not to brag or anything, but I remember my teacher saying personal statement, and I heard personal statement, I started writing. No, I literally didn't. I started quite quick, like, on my personal statement, because I knew that if I didn't start it would take me too long. And I had a spare hour one day after school, and it was like, I don't know, the first term or whatever. I just tried to get as much done, and then it literally, I did do like 5 drafts of it, because you have to keep, like, I sent it to some teachers, got what they wanted from it, like what do they think I should add. But if you start doing stuff as soon as you get told to do it, I think it makes it a lot easier to keep on top of it. Because also, you sometimes don't remember things. Like, if your teacher says you need to be doing this, but they don't actually set it online or send an email, you'll just forget about it. Like, the amount of times I forgot to do things. So exams, obviously, same goes for all of it. I think they come around faster than you expect, but in my head, right, I'm thinking up until December, I think it's all very slow. Yeah, I would say up in September to December is a slow, like, kind of time. But then as soon as you hit, I think, January, I mean, I had some exams in January, so it obviously was like straight in. But January, going on from there, I mean, honestly, a blur in my head. I don't remember it too well because it was like, okay, right, you've got how many months? Oh my god. And then you're getting closer and closer until you just do them. And I'm sitting here and I can't believe I've done my exams. Like, I'm genuinely waiting to do them because what do you mean I finished my exams? When I had done my last exam on June the 3rd, I walked back into my room and I just went, what? Out loud. I looked around, I just went, what? You will not like, the feeling you get when you no longer have to revise for year 13 exams. I wish I could bottle up that emotion and feel it again, because ecstatic. That first day, that first weekend, ecstatic. I literally, it's worth the whole year, right, of being stressed about your exams. It's worth it. That is so rewarding. That is the most rewarding feeling I think I've experienced maybe in my life. At that point, you know, you've done your A levels and all you have to do is wait for the results, which I'm stressed about, guys, but we're not going to talk about it. So university visits, I say get them done quick. Maybe I started looking quite early, I think, compared to other people. A lot of people were doing it as soon as they started year 13, which was good. I think I might have looked at one university in the summer of year 12, or like it must have been like term 6 of year 12. I looked at one at university. I kind of got straight into that mindset of, oh, this is like something that I've got to plan. Similarly, you are so free to change your mind on where you want to go, because I had in my head that I wanted to go to this one place and it was really good, and I'd done a literal interview for it and I got in, but obviously depending on my results, but like, anyway. And then I had this feeling in my heart, the same feeling I had when I was in year 11. I thought I was going to go to college. Then I had this, I visited the college and I just was like, genuinely not for me. Like, I could feel it. And I listened to myself, and then I ended up going to the sixth form, and I'm so happy I did, because it opened up so many opportunities for me. But that's a personal experience. But then with the university, I think I just felt like, no. And I changed my UCAS within like however many days you have to do it. I think you have 14 days to do it, and I was on like the 12th day. I changed my UCAS and I swapped it to go somewhere else, and I think you just got to follow how you're feeling. And if you feel any doubt, just follow that doubt and just see where it takes you, because you might find out that actually the one you chose is perfect, or maybe you think, oh no, this other one might be better. Go visit them as many times as you can. Like, there was applicant days that you can go visit them. Like, you have so many opportunities to see them, and they're very open, and they give you so much things. Like, I got a jumper from one of the universities. I love that. One of the universities didn't even give me a tote bag. I thought, sorry, I came here for a tote bag. Also, mock exams, super important to kind of learn from. Don't take your mocks as something that is a nuisance, because honestly, I think they are incredibly important. As I said, for the year 12s, mock exams will let you learn the stuff and get into the habit of revising and learn. Like, hopefully your teacher gives you back your mocks. I've got so many mocks in my room, and just reading through them and seeing what the hell I did wrong, I was like, I'm not making that decision again. But just reading them back, and I know sometimes it's a little bit humbling, but I think you need to get in the mindset where it's like, if I don't, like, I'm only going to do these exams once, so I need to make sure I'm prepared and I'm ready. Look through that exam and see what you did that was cringe, see what you did what was embarrassing. Like, embrace it, because you're going to be like, okay, I'm never going to do that again. And to be honest, it works, because I saw some of my answers and I thought, what is that? What was I rambling about? But that meant when it came to doing a question similar in the future, I was like, no way am I making the same mistake. Let's go. Like, boom, tick, marked. Anyway, also, exam papers are your best friend. Get familiar with those exam papers. Get to know them. As soon as you understand an exam paper, I went so far as to getting one of my mocks back, and I looked at the marks and how they had marked it, and I thought, no, thank you. I swear to God, that should be more marks. I went and told my teacher, and he was like, wait, you're so right. Yeah, if you get familiar with the exam papers, and a lot of the time teachers do use past exam papers to do like mocks and stuff. If you've gone through and done every exam paper already, you're already a step ahead. And then if you keep, I did there was about 5 exam papers on the system for each paper. I think I'd done all of them about 3 times because I just, when you get to, like, when you start getting into the habit of doing them, you just keep doing more. You keep wanting to check how many marks you got, and it is hard to do it yourself actually, to tick and see what you got, but sometimes mark schemes are quite clear cut, so just try your best, or even get your teacher to mark it, to be honest. Revision. Get started. Get started pretty quick. Doesn't mean you have to give up your summer holiday for it, but I'll just say in your summer holiday before year 13, just make sure all of your folders or any books have the information you need to start year 13. Doesn't mean you have to go through everything and learn it all. You can if you want, whatever floats your boat, but making sure you have what you need, they're in the right folders, they're organised well enough. It makes your brain so much clearer when you actually go into year 13. Make sure you have the stationery you need, and just make sure, like, if there's anything you didn't understand in year 12, have a little look through. And if you can't work that out on your own, make sure you remember, okay, I'm going to ask my teacher that when I go back into school in September. Like, just make sure you're familiar. Maybe even do like a RAG list, which is like red, amber, green. That's what RAG stands for. And like see what topics that you've already done, how much, like how good you were at them or how much you remember them, because it will help you as well. Make sure you just keep your habits. Get enough sleep. Sleep is so important. I don't know what else to say now. Thank you guys for watching. Any more questions you have, please leave them below. I will love to go through and I'd love to answer them for you. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.